Some people seem to be born for one thing: a runner, a painter, writer, musician. And then there are the multi-creators, the people like me who light up at the thought of learning, making, growing, exploring a dozen different things in a dozen different directions. For a long time, I thought I needed to choose just one thing, but I have come to realize that many passions are not a distraction, they're a gift. And surprisingly, grief is the one thing that taught me that. This week has been one of those weeks. I've been outside pulling weeds, planting flowers, getting the pool ready for summer. I've made a commitment to myself that painting and making art is no longer going to sit on. I'm going to make time to create, not because I want to be productive or even because I want to make money. Not that that's a bad thing. And not because I have to. Because creating makes me feel alive. After loss, that's something that a lot of us struggle to reclaim. Grief can dim our spark and pull us away from the things that once used to bring us joy. But here's what happened this week. I was cleaning the pool, power washing the deck, the gate, getting everything ready for the summer, which brought me a lot of joy. And then all of a sudden, I looked at the latch on the pool gate that sticks out. And this memory flooded my mind of Bradley running around the pool, playing chase with one of his cousins, probably Sam, and he got his armpit stuck on that gate and tore it open, which resulted in one of many trips to the ER with my Bradley. But all of a sudden, I was overcome by grief. The tears started flowing, and I thought, how can that happen in just an instant? Those memories are part of us, and it just came rushing back. And then I thought, there it is, grief. It just shows up when I least expect it. Not necessarily on an anniversary or a birthday or a holiday. Sometimes just when you're cleaning the pool gate. And that's the thing about grief. It comes uninvited. One minute you're planting flowers, and the next you're reliving a memory. Over the years, I've learned that the goal is not to stop grief from showing up. The goal is to keep living when it does. To hold on to both, the tears and the joy. There's a lot of memories that I have of Brad that bring so much joy. He was so funny, the life of the party, heartbreak, and hope. I think that's why I have discovered travel to be so important for me. It's why retreats are important, why self-care is important, and creativity, because those are the things that remind us that we're still here, growing, learning, and capable of joy. Today was a reminder of that. A group of women started a recovery meeting for women. What an honor. To sit in a room and share experience, strength, and hope. Recovery and grief have so much in common. They both require community, courage, and they require us to believe that there's something beautiful on the other side of pain. Just this week, I was on a call with my coach, Garen Ashe, and our incredible tribe. And something hit me really hard. I don't celebrate my accomplishments, and maybe you don't either. I tend to move from one thing to the next, and I don't hold on to those accomplishments. When I stop and look back at my life, I realize that there have been so many ripples, so many lives that have been touched, paintings that I've created, podcasts that I've recorded, people I've helped, events that I've hosted, communities that I've built. And this isn't because I'm special. It's because every single one of us creates ripples. The question is, what kind of ripples do you want to create? Sometimes we forget the positive ripples that we've sent out into the world. A few months ago, I went to the gym and I had this young man come up to me and he smiled and he said, "Hey, you don't remember me, do you?" And I said, "I'm sorry, I don't." He said, "I'm Jake," and he did give me permission to use his name. 4 years ago, I laid in a hospital bed. I had overdosed, and at that time they used 8 doses of Narcan to bring me back. You came to visit me, and we talked about how unusual it was at that time to use that much Narcan to save someone's life, but I was here. I was alive. And you talked with me and gave me hope. I had no shoes. I came with just the clothes on my back, and you said, "Hang on, I'm going to run home and get you a pair of shoes." And I came home, and I found a pair of Brad's tennis shoes. And I took them back to the hospital, and I gave them to him, and I explained to him that these were my late son's tennis shoes, and I wanted him to have them. And then I left, and I didn't think anything about it. In fact, I forgot meeting Jake until he reminded me, and then those memories came back. He shared with me and my husband and daughter, who were at the gym with me, that he never forgot that moment. Today he celebrates a life of recovery. He works helping others. Did he get recovery right away? No. It took a little bit of time. But the ripple that was created by just a random act of kindness changed something in him. So maybe that can be your homework for this week. Scratch that. I don't like homework. Let's call it an invitation. Take 10 minutes and write down every hurdle that you've overcome, every mountain you've climbed, every hard thing that you've survived, and start to remember some of the ripples that you've started. Big ones, little ones. Write them all down because they count. I want to give you permission to take the trip, join the gym, take the art class, plant the flowers, go to a concert, create a new meal, make something new. I love going into my cupboard, looking to see what I have, and just making things up to create a new dish. Sometimes they're great. Sometimes they're not. But it's just that act of creation and trying new things and putting things together to see what you can create that brings me a lot of joy. A life of service includes being kind to yourself. You don't have to earn joy or justify it, and you don't have to feel guilty about it. That's one of the things that I had to overcome after experiencing such trauma and grief in my life is, how can I be happy? Joy is one of the greatest ways that we can honor the people that we've loved, because grief doesn't have the final say. Love does. If you want to connect to yourself in a deeper way, I'm going to personally invite you to join me this November in Belize for the Rooted and Rising retreat. I've never been to Belize. I'm excited to go. The retreat is going to be held near the Mayan ruins. It is a magical place. It's going to be 5 unforgettable days. We're going to step away from the noise into a space that's designed for renewal. We're going to create, reflect, heal, laugh, and grow. It's an invitation to reconnect with the parts of ourselves that get buried behind responsibilities, expectations, everyday life. And if you want a reset, you long for inspiration, and you want to feel more like yourself again, this retreat is for you. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need to be fixed. You just have to be willing to show up for yourself. You can learn more about this in the comments. I'll have a link to the retreat. It's just an invitation. I am really looking forward to it. I'm going to be creating with you and guiding you on this journey, as well as 2 other incredible retreat leaders. Until next time, keep creating, keep feeling, and keep saying yes to the things that make you come alive. Because grief might always be part of the story, but it doesn't have to be in the driver's seat. Your life still holds beauty, your heart holds possibility, and your next chapter is being written. I'll be right here with you on this journey. And don't forget to check out my school group. There are a lot of people that are on the same journey that can maybe offer some advice, some help, and some connection. I'll see you next week.